And on a chilly February night, the city of Chicago hot with anticipation for tonight's marquee game.
To the All-Star Game. Let's meet the starters for the West. At forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance, the standout veteran of the Denver Nuggets, 6'7", Alex English. Making his All-Star debut, the front court star of the Utah Jazz, the mailman, 6'9", Karl Malone. The man in the middle, an All-Star, each of his 4 pro seasons from the Houston Rockets, 7 feet, Hakeem Olajuwon. At guard, making his first All-Star appearance, the virtual star of the Denver Nuggets, 6'3", Lafayette Fat Lever. And the NBA leader in assists in his 8th All-Star game from the Los Angeles Lakers, 6'9", Earvin Magic Johnson. The head coach of the West All-Stars is Brad Nelson. Let's hear it for your West All-Stars. And now, the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference. At forward, a 3-time most valuable player, an All-Star each of his 9 seasons from the Boston Celtics, 6'9", Larry Bird. He's one of the NBA's most exciting players. In his 3rd All-Star game from the Atlanta Hawks, 6'8", Dominique Wilkins. The man in the middle, an All-Star for the 10th time. One of the game's most rugged rebounders from the Washington Bullets, 6'10", Moses Malone. At guard, the most valuable player of the 1984 and 1986 All-Star Games. This Chicagoan is making his 7th All-Star appearance from the Detroit Pistons, 6'1", Isaiah Thomas. And finally, the NBA leader in scoring and steals, an All-Star each of his 4 seasons, the charismatic star of the Chicago Bulls, 6'6", Michael Jordan. The head coach of the East All-Stars is Mike Fratello.
Welcome everyone to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. On my side, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter tonight, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this is the 2nd time Chicago has hosted this mid-season classic.
Yeah, you go back to 1973, that's when they hosted their first one. The East won it 104-84 back then. That was the lowest combined score in an All-Star game, Kevin, since the 1950s.
We'll see if then tonight, Clark, they can surpass that total.
I would think they could. No shortage of scores on either side. I expect an up-tempo, fast-paced game. An exciting game with plenty of highlights and buckets.
Cannot wait. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside and Dominique Wilkins with Larry Bird the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
And it's the West All-Stars to start out. English outside. The master of the mid-range, Alex English. And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
The Tennessee Volunteers should be here. Bird kicks to Jordan. Clock at 6. Over Lever. The vision of Larry Bird is not to be overlooked. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
And the foul called on Michael Jordan. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
So it's the West now. Stolen by Bird.
Great reflexes to get a hand on that pass and go the other way with it.
And Wilkins with the stuff. Larkin, amidst this all-star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
It's good.
And Dominique Wilkins is the go-to scorer for the Hawks, no question about that. And he's embraced that leadership role as well. Obviously a huge part of the Hawks' success.
And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday, Clark. Can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. Clock at 4. Malone. Magic Johnson delivers passes with such pinpoint accuracy. Wow.
Johnson.
And making his All-Star debut in his third year in the league, Karl Malone, one of 4 players in the NBA, averaging over 20 points and 10 rebounds a game.
And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
And so here are the West All-Stars. After the basket by the East All-Stars on the other end, and the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smarts. But you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed they do. And an exhibition game with plenty of motivation for these stars nonetheless. For more, let's say hello to David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, I was talking to Larry Bird about his goals for the matchup, and he said, I think our job is to get the ball to Michael Jordan, get him into the game, and get the crowd into the game. So if Bird has anything to do with it, Michael Jordan will be the MVP. And that would be poetic justice this weekend. Guys, back to you.
Especially where we are. Well said, David. Thank you. Jordan Clark, obviously, in front of his hometown crowd. He loves it, and they really love it.
No doubt about it, Kevin. You think about the fans in Chicago. They love basketball.
2 minutes remaining.
And I can expect, and you can too, a ton of energy, some extra adrenaline anytime Michael touches the ball.
Clark, this city is on fire with Jordan, aren't they? I mean, they love him, and they think about what's to come. My goodness.
Smoking.
Yeah. Hey, Clark, the record for points in the All-Star game is 42, set by Wilt Chamberlain back in the 1962 All-Star game.
And, you know, a lot of Wilt's records seem virtually untouchable, but I don't think that one is. With all these great scores, who knows? It might be broken tonight.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Terrific feed that time by Johnson. The moment he sees he's got an open option, he makes the pass.
Jordan with it, picked up by Elijah Wan, and slammed in by Malone.
Moses Malone is not only a 6-time rebounding champ, but he's also a 10-time All-Star. He gives the Washington Bullets some real muscle inside.
Johnson, the pass to Malone. Lever against Thomas. Elijah Wan outside. Elijah Wan with incredible footwork for a big man. Clark wide open, high scoring both ways.
These tremendous All-Stars are putting on a tremendous show, Kevin.
What a blast. There's got to be some excitement, maybe even, Clark, some butterflies playing in the All-Star game. You want to prove you belong out there.
I agree with that, and there can also be the temptation to try to do a little too much, maybe get flashy, but with these players still getting a feel for each other, a lot to be said for making the simple play.
Nevertheless, a great honor. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here. Here's what the East is going with right now. Ewing's checked in for Malone. Barkley comes in for Bird. Ainge is checked in for Dominique Wilkins. And it's Rivers in for Thomas. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Olajuwon. Worthy comes in for Malone. McDaniels checked in for English. Clyde Drexler has subbed in for Lever. And Kareem looking to set the career record for all-star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you got to love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
Second team.
A good one. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Magic Johnson at the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, pretty much the perfect point guard, if there is such a thing. Magic has incredible passing skills, great size, unbelievable vision, plus leadership qualities that make him CEO-like.
And Johnson drops them both.
Making it look effortless. Send this guy to the stripe. He's going to cash in more than not.
Inside and stolen by Worthy. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. To the inside. Nice pass. Right under the rack perfectly for the layup. And James Worthy here in Clark, his 3rd All-Star game.
Yeah, I was part of the '82 draft when Worthy was the #1 pick out of North Carolina. He can hurt you on the block as well as in transition.
So refresh our memories. He was #1. Where were you taken?
I was #8, Kevin.
That's right.
#8.
That's right. I knew that. I just wanted you to boast.
The end of the first quarter with the score. Your East All-Star.
And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter.
West All-Stars.
West All-Stars out in front, leading by a point. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.